Good morning. I got a bunch of stories for you this fourth week of October. It was a ridiculous week. There was so much news I had to think about what not to mention. First, let's talk about a remarkably audacious Australian project. Two bits of news from down under. Bloomberg reports 29% of homes in the country have rooftop solar, and on September 13th, during 1 hour, they contributed 71% of all the energy in the nation's power grid. That's kind of a wow, but I'll show you a real wow. The country's government just gave a green light to a $36 billion, 6,500 square kilometer, that's about 2,500 square miles to you, project in the Pilbara region. This is an Asian Renewable Energy Hub that's meant to involve 26 gigawatts of wind and solar projects at, quote, oil and gas, unquote, scale to generate green hydrogen for export to Asia. It's part of the federal government's National Hydrogen Plan, which is meant to position Australia as a leading exporter of H2. So this project's meant to drive down the costs and make that happen. But they might not be the only ones in the market. Abu Dhabi National Energy Company and Masdar, Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company, partnering with Electricité de France and China's Jinko, the giant manufacturer of solar panels, just indicated with their new 2 gigawatt PV plant, they can sell power at 1.35 cents per kilowatt hour or $13.50 a megawatt hour. And they're also eyeing manufacture of green hydrogen in the UAE. Now let's talk about batteries, but we'll stay with Jinko. This company's pretty big, gigawatts of solar, and now they're moving into batteries with a lithium iron phosphate offering, both for the residential market up to 38.4 kilowatt hours. Most resi offerings are in the 10 to 12 kWh range, and also utility and C&I systems from a half a megawatt up to 6 megawatt blocks. Also in batteries, South Korean supplier SK Innovation said it's developing new cells that will need about 2 quick 10-minute charges in the vehicle that get that car to 500 miles of range. So shorter range, but charging so fast, it's not a range anxiety issue anymore. They expect these to be ready by the middle of next year using high-density nickels. So not packing the car with a ton of batteries, just make them super fast. SK Innovation is building a 2-factory complex in Georgia and another one in Michigan to make cells for 300,000 vehicles, including VW's ID4 and the Ford F-150, both of those starting in 2022. Staying with batteries, LG Chem plans on tripling production of cylindrical cells like the ones that Tesla makes. And it's also developing larger form factor cylindrical cells that will increase energy density by 5 times and power by 6 times, very similar to what Tesla announced on its battery day. So the thinking is the company may be actually moving to the 4680 format that Tesla uses. And speaking of Tesla, their battery wunderkind, Jeff Dahn, who works at University of Dalhousie, just presented updated test results for battery cells. Forget the 1 million miles we've been talking about. These batteries are now expected to last 10,000 cycles and offer more than 2 million miles of duration in an electric vehicle. Oh, and still speaking of batteries, in its recent quarterly investors call, NextEra said that in the next 2 to 3 years, they could be moving to solid-state batteries, which could provide, quote, longer duration, more efficient, at a reduced cost energy storage. And in that same call, the execs from NextEra said that its energy resources group has developed a pipeline of approximately 50 potential green hydrogen projects spanning the power, transportation, and industrial sectors, serving a variety of end uses. So just a whole ton going on this past week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.